Welcome back, Warriors. I'm your Quartermaster yet again, and it is great to see y'all. Welcome to the 23rd video of my Weapon Workshop series. In this tutorial series, I look at all the relevant statistics for all the weapons we're supplied with for this 24-2 conflict. Mind you, some of the info on the weapon crates ain't exactly accurate, so that's why I'm here to test them out for you and get you the most accurate info available. On top of gathering info, I also give y'all my 3 suggested builds taken to the field for dealing with all manner of combat situations. Today we'll be taking a look at our 7th assault rifle, the GEW-46. The GEW-46 is based on the German G36C assault rifle by H&K. It is a fully automatic assault rifle, not a bolt action rifle as the brass has mentioned, that is chambered in the 5.56 NATO round. These rounds come in a standard 20-round high-powered magazine with one in the chamber that will be the basis for the ammunition comparisons in this briefing. These high-powered rounds fire at a rate sitting roughly around 679 rounds per minute. This weapon also has a long barrel that drops our rate of fire to 583 rounds per minute. In terms of effective damage range, the GEW deals 28 damage out to 19 meters. Next, between 20 and 149 meters, damage drops to 22 per shot. After you go beyond that insane 150 meter range, we reach our minimum damage of 18. Using these statistics, we end up with a TTK between 265 and 442 milliseconds, and in headshot drops these to be between 177 and 353 milliseconds. Keep in mind, however, you likely won't ever be reaching that maximum TTK since it is so far away. The next ammo type we have access to is the standard issue rounds. These rounds claim to have lower recoil, reload faster, fire faster, and increase our ammo capacity by 50% while costing us range and bullet velocity. Unlike the XCE bar, these adjustments are actually correct. Our rate of fire rises to 747 rounds per minute, but our range is negatively effective, rather drastically in fact. With these rounds from 0 to 9 meters, we deal 28 damage to the body. That is a 50% decrease in our maximum damage range. Then from 10 to 49 meters, we deal 22 damage to the body, a 66% decrease in this area. And then we reach our minimum damage of 18 at only 50 meters. These rounds are absolutely intended for close range engagements. Using these stats, we end up with a TTK between 241 and 402 milliseconds, and in a headshot drops these to be between 161 and 321 milliseconds. Our final ammo type is the SUBSONIC rounds. These rounds have reduced muzzle velocity and reload speed while increasing our rate of fire, ammo capacity, and our stealth factor. In terms of rate of fire, these rounds fire at a slightly slower rate than the standard issue rounds, right around 720 rounds per minute. In regards to range, these ranges are somehow even worse than the standard issue rounds. From 0 to 9 meters, we deal 28 damage to the body, a 50% decrease from the high-powered rounds as before. Next, from 10 to 40 meters, we deal 22 damage, and that is a 25% decrease from even the standard issue rounds. And we reach our minimum damage of 18 at only 41 meters. Using these stats, we end up with a TTK between 250 and 417 milliseconds. And in a headshot drops these to be between 167 and 333 milliseconds. I see no justifiable reason to ever use these rounds unless you're completely out of ammo. Suppressors are also available for this weapon. While the wrap suppressor does not really affect performance, the 6KU suppressor continues to reduce our damage despite not being labeled as such. Using this suppressor will keep you off the minimap if you're more than 40 meters away and will dampen the sound of your shots quite a bit. However, let's look at the ranges. From 0 to 19 meters, we deal 25 damage. While this is lower than our maximum 28, it is still a 4-shot kill. Our next damage range from 20 to 149 meters is 20 damage, again not affecting our TTK at all. Then from 150 meters and beyond, damage drops to 17, which is still not affecting our TTK at all. Surprisingly, the GEW-46 is a weapon that does not suffer from the use of a suppressor. Using these stats, we have the same TTK as our base ammo, sitting between 265 and 442 milliseconds. And in headshot drops these to be between 177 and 353 milliseconds. In terms of recoil from different ammo types, there is really not that much deviation. The CQC and SUBSONIC rounds do have a lower overall magnitude, but it is not a game changer, especially when you consider the increased rates of fire. Spread seems to be much higher than I would have expected overall, however. In terms of barrel recoil, there really wasn't that much of a difference between them all, honestly. The Champion muzzle brake, long barrel, and Warhawk compensator all had the lowest magnitude, but the Warhawk had increased spread, as was expected. I'm more surprised by the long barrel given how much lower the rate of fire is that the recoil wasn't better. For the underbarrels, we have a very similar situation, with the notable standout being the LWG, of course. I also threw in bipod recoil in there for those of you of that ilk. It is by far the lowest, but it's also fairly situational. Hipfire was as expected. Pretty good, but nothing to write home about. There's no rattlesnake grip supply with the GEW, so it's just a simple case of nothing and the LS1 laser, so obviously the laser will be better. In terms of recoil plots though, they're basically identical, so for once the LS1 does not really help all that much. Now we get to the fun part, the combos. My first combo is the best overall GEW 46 build that I could come up with. As such, it's the best for the front lines. It starts off with the UH1 Smart Optic for a slight zoom and some handy range info. The high-powered extended mags are next used for a 50% increase in ammo capacity at the cost of reload speed. The LWG grip is next used for increased mobile accuracy at the cost of static accuracy. And we end with the champion muzzle brake for the best recoil reduction we could get. My first build, the Soldaten, takes all the best attachments and puts them together to get the best range, accuracy, and recoil control available on this platform. The UH1 optic is negotiable, as always, for whatever optic you prefer for medium-range fights. I went with the UH1 for its range-finding capabilities to allow you to push into your maximum damage range whenever possible. The high-powered extended mags give you the maximum amount of ammo possible without sacrificing effective range. It was a toss-up between the BCG and the LWG grips, but the decreased spread from the recoil plots gave the LWG the edge in this category. The champion muzzle brake was simply a choice based on testing. It performed the best overall in the recoil test, so it made the most sense to use. The Soldaten is your best bet when it comes to consistent accuracy over range with plenty of ammo for a couple targets. My second combo, the Marksman, turns the GEW into a long-range tap-firing beast. We start off with the Bravo 3x optic for a 3x zoom with the cost of ADS speed. We next use the high-powered extended mags again for all the benefits I mentioned earlier. The Cobra grip increases our static accuracy at the cost of mobile accuracy, and we end with the long barrel for increased projectile velocity at the cost of rate of fire. The Marksman makes the most of the GEW's impressive 5-shot kill range by turning the rifle into a DMR of sorts. The Bravo 3x optic provides a good visual zoom for those longer ranged engagements without having a scope glint or without having a huge ADS penalty. The high-powered rounds needed to be used for this build since it has the largest 5-shot kill range out of all the ammo types. Plus, seeing as this build is centered around semi-automatic use, rate of fire is less of an issue. The Cobra grip improved our accuracy while standing still, which, while it can leave you vulnerable to a pesky sniper shot, can also ensure your shots land where you want them to. The long barrel, while not necessary for static targets, will help when tracking a mobile enemy to reduce the need for a large lead to hit the enemy. If you can hit your shots using this as intended, you should be able to down 5 or 6 enemies before reloading. My final build is built for close-range stealth fighting. We start with the Fusion HOLO since it is the best close-range optic out there. The standard issue magazines are next used for increased rate of fire and lower recoil at the hefty cost of effective range. The LWG grip is next used for increased mobile accuracy at the cost of static accuracy, and we end with the wrap suppressor for an added stealth factor at the cost of projectile velocity. My third build, the Spectre, aims to be a close-quarters stealth build for the GEW 46. The Fusion HOLO offers a ton of peripheral vision when aiming and makes for a nice sight picture to quiet targets within as well. It's just my preferred close-range optic. The standard issue rounds were chosen for their increased rate of fire and lower recoil without the increased range reduction of the SUBSONIC rounds. The wrap suppressor, while not harming our damage output at all, does affect our bullet velocity, so that's another mark against using the SUBSONICs. The LWG grip felt best for this build as you'll want to remain mobile to keep your stealth factor up, and the LWG keeps you more accurate so as long as you're using your legs. It also improves your mobile hipfire accuracy, which can come in handy up close. Overall, this build can have you sneaking around the battlefield, flanking squads, and taking them out before they know what hit them. And there you have it, folks, all the stats you need to know and the best builds to properly utilize your surprisingly modular GEW 46. Combo 1 is the best overall build I could come up with for the GEW and can be best utilized on the front lines. Combo 2 may not be everyone's favorite, but in the majors testing in the field, it's been a reliable, if not unconventional, use of an assault rifle. And Combo 3 will be your best bet to flank the enemy and come out alive. I did my best to get the most accurate stats on my personal testing of this weapon on the orbital testing range. So what do y'all think of the GEW 46? Do you feel it's a good addition or is it just another generic AR? Let me know down below. And with that, if I did a good job today with this briefing, be sure to leave me a like and a subscription to show the major that you want more statistical briefings just like this one. And with that, I've been your quartermaster, and until next time, I will see you later.